Allow me, Your Excellencies, Presidents, Prime Ministers, Vice Presidents, Special Envoys, our own Vice President, the National Chairman of the ruling party, allow me to invite His Excellency the President to address and deliver his inauguration address. President say.
Our Director of Ceremony, Honorable Minister Moyo, the First Lady, Amai M. Nangagwa, Chairperson of the African Union, His Excellency President Paul Kagame of Rwanda, heads of state and former heads of state here present. At this juncture, may I read to you the letter I have received from our former president. His Excellency Comrade Idi Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Your Excellency, thank you for your invitation to me and my wife to attend the inauguration ceremony. My wife is not well in Singapore, and also I'm not well, so I'm sending my daughter and her husband to represent us. Hearty congratulations, Ara Jim Gabe. The Chief Justice, Honorable Luke Malava, the President of the Senate, Amai Edna Madzongwe, Speaker of the National Assembly, Advocate Jacob Mdenda, Honorable Ministers and Deputy Ministers, Judges of the Constitutional Court, Supreme and High Courts, the Attorney General, Members of Parliament, Chairman of the Public Service Commission, Dr. V. Ungwe, Chief Secretary to the President and Cabinet, Dr. M. James Vanda, Service Chiefs, members of Diplomatic Corps, representatives of war veterans, ex-detainees, restrictees, and all collaborators, representatives of political parties, members of the media. My apologies, I jumped one line. I must recognize, most importantly, my deputies, the Honorable Retired General Chiwenga and Madam Chiwenga, the Honorable Retired Colonel Mohadi and Madam Mohadi. My apologies for jumping your line. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, may I also acknowledge the presence of my presidential candidates in the recent past presidential election who are with us here. I have seen the president of the MDCT, Honorable Kupe, I recognize you, and the same to other leaders of political parties who may be here, whom I may not have seen, again, I recognize you. It is with a deep sense of gratitude and humility that I stand here today to address you, fellow Zimbabweans, upon my inauguration as President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, having been mandated to form the next government following the outcome of the just ended national plebiscite. We gather here yet again, as we did last year, with many similar guests. This, however, is a different Zimbabwe, the dawn of the Second Republic of our Zimbabwe. Following my commitment to open up the democratic space, the period since that special day, 24th November 2017, has indeed been momentous. In just 9 months, we have birthed a new Zimbabwe and have forged a different path for our nation, a path full of freedoms, democracy, transparency, love and harmony, a path of dialogue and debate, a path of unity, peace and development. Distinguished guests, comrades and friends, we held the much anticipated 2018 harmonized general elections in accordance with our laws and guided and informed by the SADC principles and guidelines governing elections, as well as the AU Declaration on Principles Governing Democratic Elections in Africa. These were elections in which all parties were free to campaign in all areas of our country. Elections in which competing ideas were discussed and debated freely and openly. I took it upon myself to preach the message of peace, non-violence, harmony, love and unity before, during and after elections. On 30th July 2018, we were out in our millions to define our destiny and shape our future, calmly and peacefully. With the eyes of the world upon us and in the full glare of a broad spectrum of international observers and global media, we all freely exercised our democratic right to elect leaders of our choice, and indeed, this we did. I wish to thank you, my fellow Zimbabweans, for having heeded to my call for peace and for contributing towards the peaceful environment we are still enjoying this day. You demonstrated that Zimbabweans are, by nature, a peace-loving people, and that our democracy has indeed come of age. I further commend you all for the warm hospitality you extended to our visitors and observers during this electoral period. The isolated and unfortunate incident of violence that reared its ugly head on 1st August 2018 was regrettable and most unacceptable. Such conduct should be alien and vile to our nature, culture, and traditions as the Zimbabwean people. To put closure and finality to the matter, I will soon be announcing members of the Commission of Inquiry into the said violence, who will, upon completion, publish their findings. Once again, I would like to extend my deepest condolences to the families who lost their beloved ones. Comrades, following the announcement of the harmonized general election results by the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, I'm deeply humbled and honored by my election to the office of President of our beloved country, Zimbabwe, and the exceptional mandate conferred on my partisan PF, which garnered more than 2/3 majority in the National Assembly. The court application by the MDC Alliance challenging the outcome of the presidential election culminated in the judgment of the Constitutional Court handed down on Friday, 24th August 2018. The Constitutional Court upheld the will of the people as expressed on 30th July 2018. My government is unwavering in its commitment to constitutionalism, entrenching the rule of law, the principle of separation of powers, and the independence of the judiciary. Distinguished guests, comrades, and friends, the successful realization of our shared vision 2030 will require the disciplined implementation of radical economic reforms targeted at attracting and facilitating foreign and domestic investments in line with our reality that Zimbabwe is open for business. Through the engagement and re-engagement policy, we are opening a new chapter in our relations with the world, underpinned by mutual respect, shared principles of common values. We look forward to playing a positive and constructive role as a free, democratic, transparent, and responsible member of the family of nations. Internally, we will speed up the efforts to improve the ease and the cost of doing business and economic competitiveness. Measures will be put in place to promote domestic savings in support of the national development agenda. Furthermore, necessary steps will be taken to create fiscal space through rationalization and cost-cutting measures. Measures will be taken to correct the fiscal imbalances that threaten to undermine the viability of the financial sector as reflected through the spiraling cash shortages and the distortions plaguing the foreign currency exchange market. Now that elections are behind us, we must now focus on addressing the economic challenges facing our country. To realize our vision and industrialization and modernization agenda, we will foster policies that attract both domestic and global capital. We will soon be reviewing the bilateral investment protection and promotion agreements to promote and encourage investments from across the world. Efforts will also be taken to expedite and bring to finality the resolution of the country's external debt areas under the Lima Plan. Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time for us all to unite as a nation and grow our economy. Let us courageously and diligently embark on a shared journey towards the realization of our national vision to transform Zimbabwe into a middle-income economy with increased investment, decent jobs, broad-based empowerment, free from poverty and corruption by 2030. My government will, in the next 5 years, accelerate industrialization, modernization, and mechanization, with greater emphasis on market-driven policies. Furthermore, comprehensive strategies will be put in place to stimulate the value chains across our industries and commerce. Building on the achievements in agriculture, mining, manufacturing, infrastructure, and tourism, as a result of the deliberate policies we made in the last 9 months, my government will consolidate the growth of our economy. We will modernize major roads, airports, railways, and border posts. Through modern infrastructure, we will connect Zimbabweans to each other, to the region, and to the world. My government will facilitate a more coherent SME framework to strengthen production links across business and industry. Efforts will therefore be put in place to improve economic efficiencies through the use of appropriate technologies and innovations. There is need for the modernization and revamping of our social services sector to improve the efficiency and the quality of service delivery. My government will move speedily to refurbish and construct health, education, water, sanitation infrastructure in our country. This is a promise we will deliver. In a bid to kickstart the industrialization process, we have set up incubation hubs, encourage innovation to ensure that our education sector speaks to the present and the future socio-economic, technological, and scientific needs of our country. As per our promise, my administration will continue to prioritize the advancement and empowerment of women, youth, and the disabled in every sphere of our economy. We will make firm and deliberate efforts to strengthen their capacity to participate in the economy and in governance. In all these initiatives, the creation of jobs, and more jobs will be at the core of our policies. Ladies and gentlemen, the vision of a new and a prosperous Zimbabwe, the Zimbabwe we want, is a shared one and transcends political party lines. As your president, I pledge to act fairly and impartially, without fear or favor, as a president of all Zimbabweans. As I have always said, I am your listening president, a servant leader. In this vein, those who will occupy public office at any level under my administration will be required to exercise servant leadership in the execution of their duties. They must be humble and responsive in their interactions and dealings with the citizenry. Equally, the bureaucracy in the Second Republic must be development-oriented, responsive to the people's needs, as well as exhibit high principles of professional ethics and integrity. My administration will therefore expect public sector officials to deliver quality and timely services to the people, as well as facilitate business, trade, and investment. Bureaucratic bottlenecks, unnecessary delays, lethargic and corrupt activities will not be tolerated. We must, as a society, encourage and inculcate the culture of hard, honest work. The prosecution of perpetrators of corruption will be carried out with zero tolerance. In the Second Republic, no person or entity will be allowed to steal, loot, or pocket that which belongs to the people of Zimbabwe. No one is above the law. This is a new Zimbabwe, the Zimbabwe we all want. Distinguished guests, as per our pledge during the campaign trail, my government will be implementing the constitutional provisions with regards to the devolution of government powers and responsibilities. Provinces will now be expected to plan and grow their provincial economies. Economic development at every level is the ultimate goal for us all. I therefore challenge local authorities in the Second Republic to be the engines of local economic development and growth. My government will not stand by and watch people suffer due to dereliction of duty, corruption, or incompetence within our local authorities. My dear friends, Zimbabweans, it will not be easy, but as the Holy Bible teaches us, and I quote, "For you have need of endurance, so that when you have done the will of God, you may receive what was promised," end of quote. We have indeed endured, we have toiled, and now, as we walk in unity, the path that lies ahead, we will reap a better and a more prosperous future for our people. As I have repeatedly said in the past months, real change does not happen overnight. However, inspired by our national anthem, we must work together. Nothing is beyond our reach. With love and unity, we will reach the promised land. We will build the Zimbabwe we all want, brick upon brick, stone upon stone, and we build our Zimbabwe. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Zimbabweans, allow me once again to thank you for the confidence you have shown in me. I'm emboldened and inspired by your collective hopes, your dreams and desires, and the trust reposed in me. I will work tirelessly as a servant leader to improve the quality of life for all of us. To all my colleagues and other political parties who contested in the just-ended harmonized elections, especially those represented in Parliament, I exhort us to commit ourselves collectively to develop our motherland. We are all Zimbabweans. What unites us is greater than what could ever divide us. Let me assure you that tomorrow is brighter than yesterday. Let us look forward to a journey ahead, a journey we will walk together as one people, a united people, a journey of development, a journey of progress, a journey of prosperity in our new Zimbabwe. Together, let us explore new frontiers in every facet and sphere of our economy and society. Let us endeavor to climb new heights. Let us arise and shine, for indeed our light has surely come. Blessed be the land of Zimbabwe. Blessed be the people of Zimbabwe. God bless Zimbabwe. I thank you.
Mururundo muridzo tichitenda president address yavo. We thank the president Kululeshin for his address.